very good afternoon. My name is Catherine Chong. Welcome to another episode of our fertility nutrition and our weekly Facebook live show. I'm so thrilled you're joining me today. Now, if this is the first time watching our fertility nutrition TV, my name is Catherine Chong and I'm a fertility dietitian who based in Brisbane, Australia, where I help and work with couple, mainly helping women and couple to optimize their diet to prepare their body the best for pregnancy. Now, my goal for you is I want you to really learn the diet tips, how you can optimize your diet so we can remove any roadblocks and help you to gain total clarity and to share with you the latest evidence-based advice and help you to translate into simple and actionable eating tips for you. Now, today, it's really a special episode because this week is Women's Health Week in Australia. You will find across our Instagram and Facebook platform sharing with you with all the information about PCOS and how you can maximize fertility and get you pregnant sooner. So today in our fertility nutrition episode, I am going to chat about with you the 3 diet tips that can help you to prepare your body the best for pregnancy if you have PCOS. Now, let's get started. So what is PCOS? So PCOS is also known as polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's one of the most women's health conditions that affecting the reproductive disorder and due to the imbalance of insulin and androgen hormones. In other words, is the male type hormones imbalances. Now, it is estimated that it affects roughly about 8 to 20% of women at the reproductive age, and almost it can affect half of the women who also can also affect for their fertility, and hence causing them to take longer time to get successfully conceived. Now, some of the features of PCOS can include irregular menstrual periods, causing fertility problem due to not ovulating. A lot of women might also experience skin problems such as acne or oily skin, excess unwanted body hair, and also difficulty in losing weight. Now, specifically today, we're going to dive into a little bit more about how PCOS can impact fertility. So in women with PCOS, what happens is the growth of the follicles, also known as the baby eggs, often stops early because of the increased level of the male type hormones, as I just mentioned to you. And this is commonly can be due by 2 types of hormone, which are the insulin hormones and also possibly the testosterone hormone. So these are actually causing many immature and also small follicles of the growth of the eggs within the ovaries. So if on the ultrasound, if the doctors have ordered you to do an ultrasound, quite often you may also see many cysts around your ovaries as well. And again, these can impact your ovulation and menstrual cycle. Why? Because the eggs might not be released each month, or ovulations can be irregular or may stop completely. So if you are someone who's trying to conceive with PCOS, it will make it relatively difficult because basically you are not menstruating and you are not actually ovulating. Right, so the exact cause of PCOS is still remain unclear. So quite commonly, as the first step of the medical treatment, or in addition with other medication treatment as well, your doctor may also advise you to start with some diet and lifestyle changes. So what we know so far is it is largely linked with genetic factors So women with, say for example, with PCOS are more likely to have a sister or mother who also have the same syndrome, right? And most recent study also shows that insulin resistance it's a major underlying root cause of the PCOS, and as roughly about 70 to 80% of women with PCOS present with insulin resistance. Which brings me to today, my tip number one for you today is how can we better treat insulin resistance? This is really important if you are someone who trying to conceive and you also have PCOS. You definitely want to start looking at how can you treat the underlying cause of PCOS, which is the insulin resistance. So here we go. Now, before we talk about what's the best way in terms of diet to manage insulin resistance? What is insulin hormone? So insulin hormone is responsible for helping your body to manage your sugar level. So basically, it is help to your body to absorb the sugar from your food and translate into the energy and ready for your body to use. Now, for women with PCOS, it's harder for the body to process this sugar load. So your body will respond to this by producing more and more insulin hormones to normalize the blood sugar level. So what it means is the higher insulin levels that your body is producing, the higher chances that it also linked with releasing more and more the meal-type hormone, and hence you might get a combination of different features of the typical PCOS symptoms or features that we just mentioned earlier in today's video, right? Now, so what is the best way you can help to treat insulin resistance is you want to start by really be very careful in choosing what type of carbohydrate food you are having in your diet. So what is the best type of carbohydrate food is you want to start by choosing low GI food. So GI, also known as the glycemic index, is looking at the ranking from 0 to 100, how quickly that particular food is releasing the blood sugar level in your body. So what it means is the lower the GI value, the better of the quality of carbohydrate food it is for you. So some of the low GI food include like raw oats, quinoa, whole grain bread, buckwheat, and also long grain brown rice are some of the fantastic choices of low GI food for you. So these are the food that you want to include more in your diet. At the same time, you also want to watch how much you eat and try to limit or avoid those highly refined white flour or refined carbohydrate food like white bread or white rice or all these potato chips or things that are high in sugar such as chocolates, ice cream, or sugary drink in your diet. So these are the first very important step can help to manage your insulin resistance and also helping your body better prepare with pregnancy. Now, moving along, tip number 2 for you is you need to also start optimizing your gut microbiome. So recent research, actually very interesting, has started to investigate the possible role of women's gut microbiomes and also effects in PCOS. So what they found is women with PCOS actually has a very different gut microbiome profile compared to a healthy group of women. So what the researcher also think that our gut health can also play a role impacting the success of becoming pregnant, right? So what is gut microbiome? So if you imagine in our gut, basically it's the home of billions of bacteria. So the gut microbiome it's filled with all these live microorganisms, which can be up to about 1,000 different types of species, believe it or not, which are, those species are living in your gut. So having the right compositions of a good bacteria in your gut can make a huge difference in terms of optimizing your health, improve insulin resistance, including your PCOS, but it also helps with better immune function, and also better gut health as well, and your nutrition status. So how do you optimize your gut microbiome? Here are some simple tips for you. So number 1 is you want to start by eating more gut-friendly food. So what I mean is probiotics-rich food. So some of the very commonly probiotic foods you can find in the supermarkets include yogurt, cheese, fermented milk like kefir, and also fermented foods like kimchi or sauerkraut. So these are some of the fabulous, amazing probiotic foods you can find easily in the supermarket. Now, if you're also thinking about, okay, Catherine, what about a probiotic supplement? So I think that it will be best to consult your fertility dietitian before you buy any probiotic supplements, because there are just so many different types of strain, and also the amount that is included in the supplement as well. So you really want to make sure that you are taking the right type and the right dose of probiotic supplements. So I would strongly recommend you to consult a fertility dietitian in order to achieve the beneficial health effects. Now, as a reminder as well, it's not just always probiotics that you need to be concerned about. You also need to make sure that your diet has enough of prebiotic rich food. Why? Because if you don't have a sufficient amount of prebiotics foods, the probiotics foods, which is the good bacteria that are already present in your gut, won't survive as well. So what exactly is prebiotics? So prebiotics is naturally present type of food present in your diet as well. Now, it is usually it is a fiber. However, not all the fiber is defined as prebiotics. So, for example, foods such as like garlic, onion, asparagus, beetroot, chickpea, lentils, beans, persimmons, or barley, oats, or cashew nut. These are the food known as very rich in prebiotics. So what it means is they are indigestible. So they are able to pass through your digestive tract to the colon, and where they will actually increase the growth or the activity of your good bacteria through the fermentation, right? So this is exactly the job of prebiotics, to feed the good bacteria and help them to thrive in the gut environment. So the key notes, there are two things in here you need to be very careful, or bear in mind that you want to boost your probiotics food in the diet, but at the same time you also want to make sure that you have lots of prebiotics in your diet as well. Alright, moving along, next is my final tips for you today. Is you need to also optimize your weight in order to improve the successful pregnancy if you have PCOS. Why? Because weight does impact your fertility, and in the case of PCOS, if you are carrying excess weight, so if your body mass index or your BMI is above the healthy weight range, there are also a higher likelihood that you might be experiencing irregular periods or less likely to ovulation. So in fact, research has shown that women who are overweight or obese has up to about 3 times more likely to experience irregular periods, and also affects your ovulation. So now, I want to highlight though, the good news is even if we're looking at just a small amount of weight loss, between 5 to 10%, research shows that it can help to improve insulin resistance and also help to restore that period regularity and ovulation. So if you're thinking of, okay, you want to really best prepare your body before your pregnancy, my advice that probably, again, it would be good to have a chat with your fertility dietitian to find out how exactly, what type of weight loss strategies you can start to implement to help you to lose some weight. Now, losing weight is also very helpful as well to prepare your body for a healthy pregnancy, and also to minimize pregnancy complications such as gestational diabetes. All right. Now, there you have it, my top 3 tips to help you to prepare your body to get pregnant with PCOS. And now I have also received a lot of questions about whether or not you should take inositol supplements. So this is something that I have covered in previous episodes. So I will attach the link in the description box of our video where I share with you, should you take inositol, or if you do, what type of inositol should you take to help you to restore ovulation. So check it out, that episode as well, in our Fertility Nutrition TV channel. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to press subscribe, like and share button, and leave a comment down below. Tell me, what is the one thing that you are going to try in the next 7 days? I would love to hear from you. And if you need further support and help, I also have a free fertility meal plan for you available to download. Go to katherinechong.com.au/fertility diet challenge. That's where you can also download my free meal plan and join the 5-day fertility diet challenge, where you receive a 5-day email support from me, a free 5 days meal plan, full recipe, and also, like I said, it's the support and accountability from me. So if you're interested, make sure you go and download that fertility meal plan right now. Alright then, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I will see you again the same time, same place next week. Bye everyone!